Hey beauties, welcome to today's video, which is basically about choosing your own legacy. I'm Shelby Avan. I'm the founder of the Happy Hippies Academy. And today's video is basically, again, about choosing your own legacy. And the themes are around generational trauma versus past life karma type things. And the way I want to start this today is I want to share a poem with you that I wrote, which I thought was a past life of mine. And I'm going to continue the story and tell you more about it after the poem. But I want you to get an idea of what came through for me through my intuition of something about what I thought was something about myself, because it plays very well into this topic today. So bear with me. So this is the poem that I wrote, and I will read it to you and share it on the screen. A lost love, lost to the war, rolling in the grass moments before. Our hideaway, the meadow of love and peace, rushing to one another, our souls and bodies needing to meet. A union of need, a union of love. It takes over me, engulfing me from above. The desperation, missing his skin, touching me, calm me. Love and light between our eyes, deep joining, love until the end, the calm, the peace, lying under the peach tree. The birds sing love songs just for you and for me. The flowers caress, dance softly in the wind. The sun warms our bodies as we settle in. The embrace of one another, hold each other close, forehead to forehead, smiles soften our hold. The tender holding, being close to you, stay in the moment, so perfect, the love is true. The man runs through the forest, seeking us out. The warrior woman softened, and her king to be found. She jumps to her white horse, bellows, "You won't take him from me." The confidence, the stubborn, the resiliency. He touches her leg. She looks down upon him. "Love, I need to go. I must leave with him now." The softened lover turns to the knowing goddess warrior. The truth she knows, yes, he must go. How she must steal herself for him to walk away. Don't let him see the worry flashing upon her face. "My love, please come back to me. Don't let the war take you, widow me lonely." He holds her gaze, squeezes her hand, walks out of her life, never to be seen again. And I'm going to do the next poem that I have as well, because it's a continuation. I call out to my love, lost at sea, the sea of the battle that took him from me. Our time cut short, it's time to find each other again. Open our hearts, send out the call, fall into each other's arms. Let's take this to the end. Okay, so originally this story, I like I said at the beginning, I really thought it was about a past life that I had seen that was mine, of this beautiful love that was between me and someone else, my partner at that point in time, and then it wasn't finished because he went to war and never came back. And I think it was years later, I talked to my grandma, and we were talking about our family line, just different people that I didn't know within our family. And she started telling me about this woman, this family member on her side. I can't remember who she was, but she was on my grandma's side. She had been widowed and had to take care. She'd been widowed because her husband went off to war and didn't come back, didn't return. And she had to take care of of the kids by herself. I don't remember if she remarried. I can't remember that part of the story. But the way when my Nana was telling me about this particular poem that I just shared with you guys came up for me. And it just clicked for me that this poem, because it's such a standout for me. Like who's going to forget a poem that you write about where you think it's about this past life where you had this beautiful love and lost it? And for me, I realized it's not mine. It wasn't my story, but it was something within my family line, generational line, ancestral line, right? So it was really interesting because I had been holding it like it was my own, and it wasn't. And in understanding that, it helped me to release it, because like taking it on for the way that I was thinking of relationships and being like, I have this lost love and I have to find him. Like thinking that way, it shifts things. And so I wanted to share that story with you guys as an example of something that could be, you may think is yours, but is not. And to me, that's an example of a past life. Again, it's not my own, but there are, let me give you another example of something that came up. And this was like a past life thing that I was talking about with another energy healer who was working on me. And she was saying that that's in a past life, I was like a Norse warrior type person with really great powers. And I was on the good side of everything until I wasn't, basically. So there was anger about how, I think it was about authority and potentially government or something, but like whoever it was that we were fighting, they were doing something so awful that I just snapped and wrecked like nature. I wrecked like this beautiful tree, and I think it went. I remember everything, but I just remember something about a tree and like causing damage to nature, like big damage to nature, and basically like abusing my own power, my own gifts. And so with that's like a past life thing where the karma needs to be balanced, sort of thing, versus what I am connecting now with learning more about family and ancestral trauma and like these other ways, which to me is actually like this really subtle, it's a super subtle way of trauma that comes down the lines. And it's beliefs. It is this belief system that we have. And I think something that's within, I know I have this belief within myself, which is something that I'm reprogramming and working on. And I can teach you with in coaching how to do all this stuff, is I am unworthy. And some examples of this, and examples that I've seen this in my mom, I've seen this in my grandma, I've seen this in my sister, specifically in the women of my family. So this could be like a feminine line in particular of unworthiness. And it can show up in ways like not setting boundaries, not feeling worthy enough to ask for a raise, not speaking up for yourself. What else do I have here? Settling for people that really aren't the right match for you. There's still something off and you're not ready. Settling for romantic partners, settling for friends that really aren't giving you what you really need in a friendship, that aren't inspiring you, that aren't supporting you, that aren't lighting you up, and they're just takers, or whatever, they're just not aligned. And like a big one is not stepping into your dreams because you don't feel worthy enough to do that. And there are a lot of beliefs and stuff that people have, lots of varying types. And again, they're like super simple. You don't realize how much they're actually affecting you. But once you kind of recognize that you have that self-awareness in yourself, you can see it in others, and you can see it in your family. You can see it in your like whole family dynamics, whether it's with the feminine side, the masculine side, mom or dad, or like mom put down to daughter, or father to son, or doesn't matter, father to daughter, mother to son, the whole thing. any of the trauma that the major people in your life, the family that you have, if it's not healed, it can come down onto you, and the unworthiness that they hold, which might not even be theirs, it could be from further back. It keeps coming down, and then it comes down to you, whoever's watching this. So it could look like I'm unworthy, I am bad, I am dysfunctional, I am, no, that's not the right word I'm thinking for. I am, oh, there's a specific one I'm thinking of. There's so many of them though. Either way, I want to give you more, and I'm like freezing on the spot here. There's a lot of different wounds that can be that we may have within us and can be reprogrammed. And to me, this is the difference of this is what we can do in the here and now. Familial trauma, ancestral lineage, generational trauma stuff that we can fix are the beliefs that we have about ourselves. And once we start healing that stuff, it stops with us. We will not send it on to anyone else. We won't hurt anyone else because of that wound. And that's something super important to recognize and take a hold of and take control of in your life, and start with your healing. With the past life thing and balancing karma, that's on a whole spiritual side, I believe. And I feel like it can relate also to these core beliefs of saying, if I abused my power, I wasn't being respected. Which is right. That's actually another one that I have. I'm thinking of that now and breaking it down and saying, yeah, there's a lot of times or a lot of like a belief that I am not respected, or I don't have control. I don't have power. I am not safe. Any of those things, those things can come right down. And so, yeah, I think they can come from past lives that you've lived. They can come from your actual generation in which you're living right now. And they're things that you can work on and change. And figuring out your past lives, that's like a whole other way of doing things. You can do it through meditations. There's guided stuff on YouTube, and YouTube, probably on Insight Timer. Yeah, I think on Insight Timer, it's a really good meditation app, which I've got some of my poems on there actually. And otherwise through other healing practitioners that specialize in past life regression. So I don't have contacts for that anymore, but go to whoever it is that you're aligned with. And actually, that's a lie. Sometimes past life stuff comes through a Reiki session. So if you feel aligned with me and you feel like you can set an intention. If you want to if you want to try Reiki anyways, and you're kind of like, oh, I think I would like to put the intention of learning about past lives, then come into the session and say, this is my intention for it. I would like to learn about some past life stuff. I'm like, okay. And then we can work on it. We can see what comes through. And I think as long as the intention is there, then it will come through. So that's all for today. I hope you guys found that thought-provoking, again, because these are all based on my thoughts and opinions, and it's not fact. It's just what I've learned and observed, and I thought it would make sense for a whole bunch of other people. So I hope it clicks. Let me know if you're interested in Reiki or coaching. You can find me at thehha.ca, and I'm on Instagram, Shelby the Happy Hippie. So wherever you want to follow me, I'd love to see you there. Bye, guys.